Hi, Dr. Fred Ray Lybrand here, and today's question is, how do I begin to homeschool? What a great question. And I'm going to give you an answer that's going to be a little different because most people would say, oh, you need to research or decide on a curriculum or find a group to join. You might check out a particular group like Classical Conversations that might have a built-in system for you. All of that could be great, but it's not where to begin. Here's where you begin. You begin with what you want. You begin by figuring out what you want. This is very delicate and strategic because what I want you to understand is that you're probably thinking about homeschooling based on what you don't want. So you don't want your kids to exposed to certain kind of environments. You don't want your kids to be academically behind. You don't want your kids to have too much mean girl competition or mean guy competition. You don't want your kids to be in a harm's way for shootings or violence or whatever's going on in your local school system. All of those things, I don't want them to not be able to include God or a philosophy of some type in your own education. All of those things, while are legitimate, those are what you don't want, not what you do want. And things set up that way. There's always a contrast in words. So you want something, and that means by definition you don't want something else. Well, if you focus on the don't want, you don't really have a clear aim or hope or objective. Not one that you can build the kind of strategy that you want. Just think with, kids. If you want kids to not fight, then what you're really focused on is they're fighting, and so they'll be at the brink of fighting. But what you really want is what you want, and what you want with kids is for them to cooperate, to respect each other, to work in harmony, to get along, to resolve their own conflict, something out there that they can do in positive, not a not, but a want. So you want to begin to think through homeschooling. What is it that you want? When you get through, how have the kids turned out? Now, I'm going to tell you they have their own personality and their own wills, so you can't guarantee any of those things. But you do have a great chance for a lot of influence. So when they leave, what do you want? I can tell you what we wanted. We wanted independent learners. We wanted kids that could teach themselves anything. We wanted them to know how to learn how to learn. And the reason all that's important is because that guided us towards a curriculum and an approach and writing some curriculum and other experiences we built in their life to help them develop that skill set. That's what we were aiming for. It wasn't particularly a math and science system or an art system. I guess with my emphasis on writing, produced a lot more writers than scientists. It's running basically 3 writers, 1 mathematician, and 1 sales marketing guru, Jim, and Laura. So that's the game. But once you set it up, if I wanted an all science orientation to put out scientists, that's going to invite me to do it a certain way, and you go down the list. So you need to begin in your homeschooling by sitting down and thinking through what I want. And you might want to write a couple of columns, what I don't want, what I do want. And all the don't wants, if you'll just do the opposite, they'll turn into do wants. And then you look down those do wants and take the top 3, 4, or 5 and really reflect on them. Talk it through with your spouse and your family or whoever's involved in it. And as you think that through, probably narrow it down to one governing theme. With that theme in mind, you're going to be able to look for curriculum and support and online help. And even if you look at our site, independenthomeschool.com, you're going to find lots of resources, several hours of video, and all kinds of blogs addressing these issues like this one. Where do you begin with homeschool? Begin with figuring out what you want, and you'll be in an awesome, awesome spot. Hope that helps.